Okay, so we're going to proceed. We're going to start with racking, and I'm going to use the fancy dancy pump that I've got, so I'm really excited about that. And then we'll get into fermentation. So before I rack, I do want to generate the yeast, let it hydrate, and give it the Go Firm yeast nutrient as well, and that'll get the ball rolling then. Yay, exciting day, stay tuned. Okay, so this is 20 grams of yeast, 25 grams of Go Firm, and 500 mils of sterilized water, added at the appropriate temperatures, and it's just resting now until it comes down to the temperature that we need for the addition. So let's go to the winery. All right, I've been busy. Let's have a look. That we're getting a nice build-up of froth starting on the top. We've got some bubbling action just starting. I mean, just a couple, but still. And we've got some gross lees, or at least some yeast sat with everything else on the bottom that's going to do its thing. So this guy is definitely fermenting. Oh, there goes a bubble there. Fantastic. That didn't take long at all. Let's have a watch. It's the little things in life that are exciting. Let's see if I can watch this bubble evolve. Yeah, it's gonna go. Come on. Boom. So we are definitely fermenting. Thank you, yeast. That is phenomenal. I'll drink to that. So the yeast is sat now 20 minutes, and it's only down to 32 Celsius, and we've got to drop it down to about 17. So what's going to happen is we're going to start to just pump, so not filtered to begin with, but just directly through the pump from the vat into the blue canister here. Now obviously I'm going to get some sanitized water coming through first, so that's going to go into the purple bucket, and then once I get actual wine, boom, I'll pop it into the blue bin. The other thing is that I'm going to add some CO2 gas, very carefully of course, to the big blue bin, and that's just to give it a little bit of a CO2 atmosphere in there, because I don't want too much oxygen getting to it. Now during the fermentation stage, the oxygen will probably be eaten right up, but still I don't want to risk it at this point. Especially that I've given it Go Firm, which is probably all it needs for a complete fermentation. So I'll get this set up. That's just for my CO2 transfer. I'll drop it down as far as I can. Okay, take this up. And again, just try to drain as much as I can out of it now. And I'm going to wait for the wine to come through, draining into the bucket, and then when I finally get proper, when I actually get wine through, then I'll transfer it to the blue. So everything's ready to go except for one thing. That is I'll sanitize for now. That is just popping the top of the keg, or excuse me, the top of the vat. I've got to let some air in, or else this is not going to drain. So that's popped. Taking the line first, we got to just take everything really careful. Doesn't seem to be. Okay, it's filling up. You can see here. I'm starting to just prime it with the pressure in this. That's fine. You can see the wine starting to come through. Okay. Around it comes, I can see it there. And now we're getting proper grape juice. In it goes, on it goes. Definitely pumping through. I'm going to put this line, run it in as much as I can. I don't want it to aerate very much in here. Okay. And then I'm going to start my gas going in. Spray that down. pumping CO2 into the bin. We need to be careful not to asphyxiate ourselves. Put a little lid on. Here we go. So we're going to let this pump through until I can pump no more. Now I want to make sure that my CO2, which is just gently trickling, ever so slightly, I just want to make sure that it's not injecting into the must itself. And you can see it's not, but it's getting quite close. Let's see if we can see it there. And the reason for that is we don't want to make this into sparkling at all. So I'm going to just back the hose out ever so slightly. There we go. And I'll keep doing that throughout the process. So the barrel's almost half full. That's pretty darn good. Pretty darn quick. Okay, so I've started to draw air in here. I've got the stainless steel vat cleaned out completely. I scooped out just under 12 liters of just crazy thick precipitate must, and then I cleaned and now sanitized my cooling coil again. The cooling coil's held up quite well, so I'm happy. There's the sanitized pot in there. So I'm just about ready now to pump back in my must and my holding bin into my containment unit. Now again, it's a learning process, so I'm going to see if I can pump in going through the spigot here, just so that I'm not aerating too much. Who knows if that'll work. If not, I'll just go over the top. Okay, and again, I'm going to have some CO2 in there just to protect it while this is all happening. Then hopefully the yeast will cool down, because it's still about 26 degrees Celsius, which is way too high. It needs to come down to about 18 or 19 would be fine. It's about 17 right now in here. So, alright, so that's my next step. Now I'm pulling back out of my barrel, through my pump, through the spigot, and in. I'm trying to do that so that I don't aerate it too much by coming up over and dropping them. I've got the CO2 going quite heavily. I've got perfect ventilation in here. I'm just going to back it down now. Without feigning, just have a quick look. That's fine. Okay. Quick peek at the levels here. Really fast pump. And got a good old fish clip to help me keep my piping on. I was going to go spigot to spigot, maybe next time I will, but I needed to have this raised up and it was too heavy. Oh well, you learn. Cool, so I just finished the transfer from the blue container back to the primary fermenter. Worked out really well. in the end I just raised the blue fermenter once I could lift it up just higher up to help the pump. But I'm pretty pleased with how that went. It was minimal mess. I had a couple drips from the spigot which was installed and just needs a little bit of a tweak. But other than that, I think I only lost about maybe 50 mils at the most of juice. So that's pretty standard. Great. So I just gotta wait for the yeast. It's still pretty hot. About 24 degrees. I'll check the must that was in here. Let's see what's left. Yeah, pretty darn cold. About 13. So we gotta wait a bit till we add the yeast. Now just cleaning the pump with sanitizer. So just running sanitized solution through it, in and out. Works quite well. I'll do that for a couple minutes. And everything seems to be fine here. So yeah, let's wait and see.